Seniors and the disabled who rely on federal housing assistance could be the next victims of the government shutdown. U.S. Housing and Urban Development employees are furloughed, and there's no one to sign housing vouchers at this time. KRK4's Washington correspondent Alexandra Limon joins us live. And Alexandra, the President and HUD Secretary Ben Carson have urged landlords to be patient and flexible, but many landlords say they have no choice. Is that right?
That's right, and right now the Department of Housing and Urban Development has a notice posted on their website to notify people that they are closed because of the government shutdown and lack of funding. And the longer this shutdown goes on, the worse things will get for people who depend on HUD services. Thousands of senior citizens and disabled Americans who rely on government housing subsidies could face evictions and homelessness because of the government shutdown. The Department of Housing and Urban Development has run out of money and sent its employees home.
HUD's mission includes serving some of the poorest people in America,
including those who rely on monthly HUD vouchers to pay for a place to live. If HUD remains closed,
can mean disaster for tenants and landlords and later on for states.
Sarah Pratt is the former Deputy Secretary of HUD. She says because of the shutdown, more than 1,100 landlords around the country were already notified they wouldn't get the federal government's portion of the rent they're owed,
representing close to 50,000 tenants.
The longer the government shutdown continues, the larger the number of landlords who won't receive HUD vouchers. That ultimately could leave the most vulnerable Americans on the streets. Republican Senator John Thune.
That's why there should be a sense of urgency attached to this, because there is nothing good accomplished by a government shutdown.
And this isn't simply an issue of greedy landlords. Many low-income housing operations need the rent money to pay for the bills for things like electricity, gas, and water.
The answer is the tenants may have to move out. And that, of course, would be a disaster.
And a disaster for financially strapped states and cities left to deal with those in need. And right now, there's no sign that this government shutdown will end anytime soon. In fact, just a short time ago at the White House, President Trump walked out of a negotiation meeting after Speaker Pelosi said she would not agree to a border wall.
And Alexandra, what happens next is the big question at this point.
Well, tomorrow President Trump is headed to the border as he continues to try to convince Congress to pay for his proposed border wall.
Alexandra Limon live in D.C. A windy day there. Alexandra, thank you so much. We sure appreciate your reports. President Trump's attorney